Hey horror fam, welcome back to High on Horror, your weekly seance with the sinister, the spectral, and everything that goes bump in the night. I'm Drew, and this week, we've got something special rising from the shadows.
And I'm John. This episode and every future episode is dedicated to all the horror hounds and smokers out there who want to expand their knowledge of the genre and have a good time.
We're diving into Dui Shaw, a supernatural spine tingler out of Bangladesh that's haunting screens at the Fantasia Film Festival, and thanks to an early screener, we've got the chills to prove it. This one's more than a ghost story. It's a modern revival of South Asian folklore, packed with the eerie, twisted tales once whispered from generation to generation. So pour the tea, keep your amulets close, and let's get into it today on High on Horror. Interviews, reviews, and the latest news all rolled into one.
All right, now it's time for Strain Wreck, the segment of our show where we tell you what strain we're getting absolutely possessed by and chat about what's going on in the world of horror and beyond.
Think of it as the part of the movie where the fog rolls in, someone lights up in the graveyard, and everything starts to delightfully fall off the rails.
Yeah, so today Drew's the supplier, and he's got some train wreck for us. And looking here at Leafly, train wreck is a mind-bending, potent sativa with effects that hit like a freight train. Mexican and Thai sativas were bred with Afghani indicas to produce this Northern California staple, passing on a sweet lemon and spicy pine aroma. Trainwreck begins its speedy hurtle through the minds with a surge of euphoria, awakened creativity, and happiness. Migraines, pain, and arthritis are mowed down by Trainwreck's high THC content. Man, they just they really added some fluff to this.
They're glazing it.
Yeah, basically. And many patients also use it for relief of anxiety, ADD and ADHD, and PTSD. There are many stories about the origin of the name. Some say growers grew it among a train wreck in Arcata, California. I'm not buying that one. Others say the plant's sprawling growth resembled a train wreck. If either of these had to be true, I'm going to go with the second one. But
I gotta say that it has been, every time I've had it, I've really liked it and been excited to have it. So it is good weed.
It says it's a Northern California staple. I wonder how long it's been around, because I feel like it was only here probably 10 years ago, maybe 10, 13 years ago, something like that. We started. I remember we're like, oh, did you hear this one's called Trainwreck?
Yeah.
Euphoric, uplifted, creative are the feelings. The negatives are dizzy, dry mouth, and dry eyes. We got flavors of pine, earthy, and woody. And I usually read multiple reviews, but this one is so long.
God.
I don't know. It's from March 22nd of 2017. And he said he felt focused, happy, and talkative. I don't know. Some of this I feel like might not be a real review. Some parts seem like they might be a little fake. But I guess... trigger warning, maybe? You got there's some death in here.
Okay. All right. What kind of review was this?
Trainwreck welcomed me back to the world of marijuana. I had party smoked, he put in quotes, junior high through college until the mid-90s when I graduated and got jobs that randomly drug tested. ... Government jobs. ... I am watching you. LOL. Just local small town planning and community development jobs. Up to the point I quit smoking for employment reasons. I smoked whatever came to me, sometimes good, sometimes blick. Never bothered with strain info. Now fast forward to the mid-2000s. He's taking us on a journey.
Yeah, he is.
And my eventual defeat by my lifelong chronic depression. When I say defeat, I mean government disability due to chronic non-medical responsive depression. I've never heard that term. But
no, me neither.
Man, they made that a long term. Basically,
That's
I lost
brutal.
my wife at 36 years old and couldn't function enough to hold a job and was failing to help my son through his grief. The loss of anything keeping me fell apart. I even allowed myself to do... This is the one that I was like, is this true? Because I didn't think they still did this.
Okay.
I even allowed myself to do shock treatment to kick my depression. I thought they had that a while ago.
Yeah, I didn't think it was something you could request
maybe
either.
It's some unlicensed shit, maybe?
I don't know.
Didn't work.
I was doing some like jackass shit where you're just getting zapped.
Didn't work, only humiliation from the stigma. Suicide was always lurking in the shadows. Then My sister, like the then is, I'm sorry, actually, there's 4 dots, then in all capitals, and then 4 more dots. My sister had some weed 2 Xmas ago and couldn't fly with it, so I decided to get high after all this time. Trainwreck was its name, and it gave me a fighting chance to push the depression to at least arm's length. I had no idea you could breed specific strains to help with specific ailments. It gave me that needed space to shake free from my depression and actually say I'm okay. I cried and cried and cried. I finally found the thing that could help me fight my depression. I'm now in a non-medical state and have to research real hard to get Trainwreck or similar sativa-dominant hybrids that help the most. But I won't let it stop me. Thank you, Trainwreck. You never know how much you changed my life.
I mean, that's kind of a deep story. I didn't mean to crack a joke. It's like maybe he was doing like jackass
I don't know,
and
but the
zapping
shot
himself.
treatment's the part that made me go, what? I've never seen somebody write that. 1,026 people found it helpful.
That's what I'm saying. I feel for him. You know, like that was, I mean, he was kind of being goofy, but that was a deep review, actually. So
yeah, it's just weird how it would go from like, my wife died, I couldn't help my son, and then my sister couldn't fly with weed. Like, it takes like that.
He was high as shit when he wrote that.
It took us on a ride.
It's your hit on the ball.
Oh, yeah. But real quick, I'll just throw out, for the reason we're smoking it is Dewey Shaw. I almost forgot the name of the series for a minute. But the series ranges from gritty and gruesome to haunted, mythic, and even musical. Trainwreck's stimulating cerebral rush pairs perfectly while maintaining alertness through the tense psychological scenes and engaging you during the more surreal or emotionally charged segments.
Hard to believe, but The Devil's Rejects, Rob Zombie's crowning achievement, cinematic achievement, just turned 20 years old. And I still vividly remember the lead up. I was already a huge fan of House of a Thousand Corpses, then caught Rob at Ozfest, R.I.P. Ozzy, where he absolutely dominated the stage. They had promo tables set up for The Devil's Rejects because the movie hadn't come out yet, with like temporary tattoos and posters and stickers and you name it. Naturally, I grabbed everything like a horror-obsessed gremlin, and a few weeks later I saw the film in theaters, and 2 decades on, it hits just as hard. Everything about that movie was firing on all cylinders. Nobody expected it to go from like kind of 70s acid trip horror in House of a Thousand Corpses to like Western horror in The Devil's Rejects, which was a great twist. And Sid Haig was absolutely magnetic. Captain Spaulding didn't just steal scenes. He hijacked the entire genre for a moment, cementing his place as one of horror's most unforgettable icons. So not current events, but just kind of something that stood out to me today that I was like, holy shit, dude, I'm getting old.
Yeah, I don't remember that because I haven't seen any of them, but I do vividly remember Rob Zombie ruining Halloween.
This was before that, obviously. I knew you were going to take a shot. That's fine. I don't mind.
I had to throw it in there.
I don't mind.
I had to take my pot shot.
You can't can't throw your stones at the Devil's Rejects, though. But I
still
agree
probably
with
better than Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving on. I can't really add much to that.
All right, horror
Maybe
heads.
one day you'll break me down and I'll eventually watch it.
Well, that would, of all the I think you would enjoy those two. I do. I think that you would be like me and you'd be like, how the fuck did his ladder shit just go to, like, how did he go downhill so fast? It was like literally The Devil's Rejects was his big break, and the studio's going, holy shit, this guy can make a really good movie off a little budget. So then they think he's the next guy for Halloween, and then you realize, no, it's not the way to do it. This ain't it. All right, but anyway, all right, horror heads, let's talk current events, because Jason Voorhees is back, and he's not just crashing cabins this time, he's crashing Comic-Con. Thanks to Bloody Disgusting for the scoop on Sweet Revenge, a new Friday the 13th fan film unveiled at San Diego Comic-Con by the folks behind the so-called Jason universe. It's being billed as a short film vignette, which is horror speak for don't blink or you'll miss the blood. This slasher snack is set to be the centerpiece of the franchise's bold 45th anniversary campaign, because nothing says celebration like a machete to the face. The short premieres August 13th, 2025. Yes, that's a Wednesday and not a Friday, but let's not get picky. Directed by Mike P. Nelson, who did Wrong Turn, Sweet Revenge promises a blood-soaked weekend in the woods. Sponsored, because we live in strange times, by Angry Orchard. That's right. Jason Voorhees, brought to you by Hard Cider. Stay hydrated, campers.
Is he going to be like the old school UFC fighters where they would have like all their sponsors on their trunks. He's just going to have an Angry Orchards on like the back of like his dusty ass jacket.
Isn't that kind of like promoting? Like Jason wouldn't promote beer.
No, that's
so that's kind of
alcohol's what got him in the place he's at.
Jason, they sold him out. Jason sold out.
I didn't even think about that when you said that, but that's a really good point.
It is, yeah.
I don't think anybody else thought
or
that
it's almost like they're like, here, drink a beer, go in the woods and get fucked up. But anyway, according to Horror Inc. and Friday the 13th LLC, this project aims to honor the franchise's legacy while slashing forward into new territory. With Nelson at the helm and a stylish assist from the folks rebooting Silent Night, Deadly Night, this may be a short film, but it sounds like it's packing some full-length carnage. Oh, and if you're wondering, yes, Jason Universe is also tied to the upcoming Crystal Lake prequel series from Peacock and A24, which is officially in production. That's right, Jason's out there building a cinematic universe right now. If Freddy shows up post-credits, I can't be mad.
Look, I'm just hoping the Jason universe is better than the DC universe they've been trying to make in response to the Marvel. Or did they try first? I don't even remember at this point. It don't matter.
Even if it's not on Team Jason, man, it don't matter.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks that they have to release it on December 13th because they already blew past the only Friday the 13th this year that they could have released it. So,
I know.
I mean, you should have seen that one coming. That was bad.
Is it bad scheduling?
Yeah, I mean the trailer looks good.
It does, yeah. That was what I was going to say.
Do you know what the runtime is?
On the I don't think
I don't know
said.
if they've released it. At least I haven't seen anything on it.
I just hope we get some good brutal kills, But all right. Well, next up in horror news, because nothing says holiday cheer like trauma and blood-soaked Santa suit. Silent Night, Deadly Night is back, baby. Thanks to Bloody Disgusting and Cineverse, the people behind the Terrifier films, we got our first look at the brand new reboot during San Diego Comic-Con's Bold Voices of Contemporary Horror panel. Can't make it to Comic-Con? No worries. The teaser's online now. And yes, it's exactly as jolly and murderous as you'd hope. The film drops in theaters nationwide on December 12th, 2025. And guess who's donning the red suit this time? Rohan Campbell. Yes. The guy who helped derail Halloween Ends with Corey's sad boy murder arc is now playing Billy.
As much as I want to shit on that movie, did he really derail it? Or was it the writing that derailed it?
Both.
I mean, he just accepted the role. But I mean, I'm willing to give him a chance in this.
Well, now he's playing Billy, horror's most traumatized mall Santa. So let's hope this time that the only thing he kills is the performance. He played traumatized pretty good,
so he had that down. He just somehow made Jason look like a week old. Or Jason, Jesus. That train wreck getting you. Getting me, see? But, I mean, he pushed and made Michael look like an old man.
Yeah. Well, like I said, let's just hope that this time the only thing he kills is the performance.
Wow.
Also in the cast is Ruby Modine from Happy Death Day, along with Mark Akeson, David Lawrence Brown, and David Tomlinson. A solid lineup for a sleigh ride of slaughter. The plot, classic with a modern coat of blood. After witnessing his parents get absolutely slayed by a psycho in a Santa suit, young Billy grows up with a warped sense of justice and a North Pole-sized vendetta.
Nice.
Now, every Christmas Eve, he checks his list twice and makes sure everyone ends up on the naughty side. So this remake isn't just a nostalgic cash-in with Mike P. Nelson, who did Wrong Turn directing, top-tier crew behind the camera, and the words unrated stamped on the poster. This thing is coming down the chimney swinging. And for those who remember the original, Silent Night, Deadly Night caused pure chaos back in 1984, outraged parents, pulled theatrical runs, and a legacy built on controversy. In other words, the perfect holiday horror story. And now, it's back to ruin Christmas all over again. Sign me up.
I'm waiting for when they remake part 2.
Oh, God. Garbage Day.
Garbage Day.
Do you even like that movie, or do you just like it to fuck with me?
I don't know if I like it just because of that.
The fact that that's even an option.
Yeah, just because of that one line. It's definitely not as good as the original. But I enjoy them both. Yeah, I mean, I'll check it out. We'll see. I'll be there.
Well, and if that's the case, then let's roll into today's review of Dui Shaw.
Oh, I was gonna the Hellraiser game.
Oh, go right ahead.
Hellraiser Revival. All right, so taken from the official website. Experience a new chapter in the legendary horror series like never before. Clive Barker's Hellraiser Revival takes first-person action horror survival to the next level. Play the story of Aiden, who must use the power of a mysterious puzzle box, the Genesis configuration, to help his girlfriend Sunny escape the otherworldly hellscape of the labyrinth. Wield the powers of the box to survive your bargain with the infamous Pinhead and do battle with the horrific cult devoted to the Cenobites. It's funny because I clicked on the link originally and I saw the on their website it says watch the Red Band, and my son was awake, so I was like, I'm not going to click on that because that says Red Band. And then he went to sleep. Have you seen the Red Band
Yeah,
one?
it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, I played it, and Nicole was like, I'm glad you waited for him to go to sleep to play that. And she's like, that looks messed up. I was like, I know. I was like, the thing that makes me excited is this is what I wanted, and I hope with the Halloween game,
That we get something
I
like
don't
that,
want
yeah.
just another online multiplayer like Alien Isolation where you have a story to it.
Right.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Exactly, yeah. I agree with that 100%. No, and I'm a huge Hellraiser fan. I love Hellraiser, so yeah, this is one that I'm in. Like the Terrifier game, I thought looked cool, but this one's like, holy shit, this
Well,
is
yeah,
gonna
the
be awesome.
Terrifier is just a Scott Pilgrim. I think I already
Yeah,
said it before,
yeah.
like reskin.
But this is like a real I haven't been this excited about a horror game since the Friday the 13th.
I know the
game.
first thing when I was watching the trailer, I was like, oh wait, this isn't like. I mean, I enjoyed the Jason game and the Killer Clowns game and all that. I was like, wait, this isn't one of those.
I mean, that's definitely like a game that you want to pack the bong up with, or roll
Yeah.
a couple, and have some food and
Definitely
some
don't
drinks
do
and
acid.
just lights out and just fucking just jam to it, man.
Definitely, again, don't do acid playing this game.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. Maybe ecstasy, but not acid.
Yeah, so what you said, I think now we'll go ahead and get into Dewey Shaw.
All right, cool.
All right, getting into today's film is from HoH Humayun, and he should be familiar now to fans of the Fantasia's crowd, thanks to a succession of titles packed with smart, original, and bravely engaged ideas. Regulars at Fantasia's Things That Go Bump in the East Shorts program will recall a fond shiver the shorts Moshari, Bangladesh's first Oscar-qualifying film, executive produced by no less than Jordan Peele and Riz Ahmed, currently in development as a full-fledged feature, and Foreigners Only. Then came Pekkata Shaw at Fantasia 2023, and a TV series repackaged as an anthology feature delivering folk horror chills in a distinctly Bangladeshi vernacular. And so getting into that here, we're going to review the first 3 episodes, and then next week we're going to review the 4th episode. It was longer than the other ones as its own episode. And the first one is, that one was called Prayer Time. And that story is about a gang of goons for hire, and they perpetrate a violent, pause. And getting into the first episode here called Prayer Time is about a gang of goons for hire. They perpetrate a violent outrage only to find out that sacrilegious has its own punishments, regardless of which holy book one prefers. And I enjoyed this one. I wrote that the mask in the beginning looked like they could have been found at the discount mart at Halloween 4.
Oh,
They had like a lot of 80s feel to
I
those
agree,
masks.
yeah.
And I enjoyed it. And almost kind of, I wrote that it felt like a demonic spin on Final Destination.
Okay.
Like it kind of, I feel like had a lot of that, not in the same way and not the same situation, but I don't know. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get
But
it.
I give it an 8.5. I really enjoyed it.
Well, this is the only one of the. We haven't watched the 4th episode yet, or 4th story, seeing as this is a feature now, but we've only watched the first 3, but I'll start by saying that this is the only one of the 3 where someone gives themselves a shocker, and not in the way that you expect.
Yeah, it ain't 2 in the, one elsewhere.
But this first episode leans more into creepy than outright scary. Think unsettling vibes over jump scares. It's a well-crafted piece. It's definitely worth watching, but don't expect it to haunt your dreams. I thought it was more eerie shiver than Sleepless Night. I'll give it a 7.
All right, I can't hate it, but I feel like I enjoyed it a little more. I really enjoyed
I agree with your Final Destination. Like
that
was
ending
good.
scene.
Yeah.
I enjoyed. I feel like you and I were both like, oh shit, at the same time with that.
Yeah, the ending was solid, for sure. And well, yeah. So the first episode, or I'm sorry, the second episode or story is called Bago Balo, which literally translates to good luck, and it's about a curbside fortune teller who breaks a cardinal rule: never read your own palm, and discovers that luck has two sides to it. With this one, I thought the second episode, while competently made, rather, I'm sorry, it falls flat in terms of impact. It's neither scary nor particularly eerie, and I walked away from it, with not much to chew on. Visually polished, sure, but narratively, I felt it was underwhelming and forgettable. I would give this one probably like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, when I was writing it down to remember my episode, I wrote a palm reader's trying to get a kidney transplant for his ailing mother who's being a total bitch to him. But and I have to say, why do people hide in the shadows so much?
I don't know.
In the show, I feel like it was the first 2 episodes. There was a lot of people just like all like in the back part of the shot,
yeah,
and just cast in the shadows like it was a maybe that's the aesthetic he's going for, but it felt very like film noir.
Yeah, and I will also say that episode 2, I haven't seen a bird get murked like this since the Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2.
Oh yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, so I'll just leave that out there.
That's what I said. Is there was some good gore throughout.
Yeah.
I would say 7 out of 10. I had a little
7?
trouble.
Okay. You liked it a little more than me. Okay.
I personally had a little trouble following it, and I think it might have been the language difference, trying to make sure I was reading everything on the screen. I feel like I want to watch it again, and I feel like I might rate it a little higher if I gave it a second viewing. And then getting into our third one here, Antara. In an idyllic yet uneventful marriage, memories are mysteriously fleeting, but malevolent whispers linger. And this is one of the best portrayals I feel like I've seen of Satan in a long time.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed. I unfortunately didn't really have a cast list, and when I looked it up on IMDb, it had the cast, but it didn't have any of the characters they played.
Yeah.
But the actor did an amazing job playing Satan. I was super invested in this episode throughout it. It took a lot of twists in a short amount of time, but it didn't feel like anything was forced. Mm-hmm. And like I want to watch this again. Like I'm giving it a 9 out of 10.
A 9, wow.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it.
Well, I agree that I think this was the best episode. In this episode, we're introduced to a woman who appears to have tied the knot with Lucifer's more controlling cousin. Yeah. It's a chillingly clever metaphor for how marriage could sometimes erase a woman's sense of self faster than a gaslit group chat. Yeah. I liked this episode, but again, it wasn't scary. I'd give it a 7. So I'm just slightly off. I'm right under you on everything. I'm just a little bit less of a fan than you, but not by much. It's a point or two.
I've really enjoyed the first 3, so
honest.
I'm excited to see the fourth one.
See, I dig like watching.
I thought 2 was the weakest of the 3 we watched.
I would agree, definitely. Like that's not even a question. But like I'm at that point in my life now where like I guess because I'm getting older and I've seen all these. I just have so many movies I've seen, and like when I watch something foreign, like I expect to be like scared by it, and when I'm not, I can't help but like take that into my equation because like, I do like twisted stories, but like I want to watch something that fucking scares me, and like whenever the things that I watch don't meet that mark, I can't help but like hold that against it. Like so it's like if all of these stories were actually scary and I was walking away from them going like ew or what the fuck, my rating would have been a little higher. But I'm just a little dissatisfied on like not being scared, but. That's all right. They were well made. It's good. I'm looking forward to the 4th episode. Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I feel like I might rate them a little higher because I feel like I'm trying to get invested in the story, and maybe not because I'm not a native speaker.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily maybe paying as much attention to the cinematography and the setting and stuff,
right.
Where I'm just trying to focus on the story. So right. I feel like maybe I'm basing it just like solely on like the story and how I felt watching. I mean, there were a lot of good visuals throughout.
Yeah, for sure.
The gore in the first one was pretty well done.
Yeah, that was the most like horror of the 3 stories. The other 2 were more like moral stories or like social commentaries. I feel like
there was definitely some creepiness to the first episode.
Yeah, the first was the one that came closest to horror, and I was most satisfied for that and the horror element of it. But I think 3 had the best story. Like that was a good one.
And the third one on Tara, again, man, him as the devil, it kind of I would compare him more to like a John Milton from Devil's Advocate type version of Satan,
fair.
as opposed to straight up horror.
Yeah.
Which is still fucked up on its own. He does some fucked up shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really good. I would maybe, I mean, I can argue it's not straight up horror, but then you can argue it's horror because Satan's involved.
Yeah.
But, I've enjoyed all 3. Next week we'll review the 4th one. I haven't even looked. I've went in with, pretty blind on all 3 of these, so I didn't know anything going in, and I'm excited. Maybe put out a steelbook of Dui Shaw.
Well, see, I will say, again, not to be overly critical, but, I am that guy. The one thing I feel that this movie does need is, seeing as how you're watching episodes of a show that are now like put into a movie as an anthology, I do think that we need some sort of wraparound. We're just given like pauses of blank screen in between stories. And I'm like, this is, if you're going to put them together, like tie it in somehow. So I just feel like it's just one after another. It's like, it feels like you're just watching a show like you're watching a show and the episode ends and then it auto plays the next episode, and then that episode finishes and auto plays the next. And it's like, I feel like there should be some sort of wraparound in between the stories. So that's a criticism that I have. And it doesn't even have to be somebody sitting in a chair reading a book like, and this story is about, it doesn't, I don't need that, but something like maybe have put the effort into maybe making another story that you see in between these other stories that concludes at the end. I don't know. I just feel like it just looks and feels like episodes of a show put together instead of actually, like, it just feels like what it is. They took episodes of a show and said, here, let's put them together and make it a movie. But you can see that the gaps in between them, that kind of, I almost would have liked it more as an episodic thing if that's how they were going to do it.
And I would just argue that sometimes, and we've seen it in the VHS series, for a big part of them, most of the rap stories are usually always the weakest story in the whole thing.
Fair, but I mean, sometimes
I
don't
necessarily have that problem with it. I'm okay with it just going episode to episode. I was a little confused. Like I said, we kind of went in blind, not knowing anything, just jumping in. I could say I was confused of, are these separate stories at first, until you start watching the second episode and you're like, okay. Well, I guess really the end of I don't want to ruin anything, but just going in from the first episode to the second, I wasn't sure if they were all tied together. It was just, the same story throughout the whole season. But yeah, I mean, we've enjoyed it so far, and again, we'll review episode 4 next week. All right, thanks to all the horror hounds and smokers out there for tuning in. And make sure to follow us online, High on Horror 420, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. I always feel like there's more I should cover. I know I say this a lot, but every time I'm like, I feel like there's more than that. The list shouldn't be over yet. There's so much like fucking social media apps out there. Anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. So make sure to tune in next week. We'll bring you more from Fantasia, episode 4 of Dui Shaw. We'll get that wrapped up for you, and who knows, with the festival going on, we might just pop in with another episode or 2. And I guess that's everything. Catch you later.
See you all next week.